So I'm going to see if I can segue from the Grammys into our next topic, because we were talking about appropriate clothing and not bearing certain parts of the body, and apparently the new Anne of Green Gables is all of those things that you shouldn't be at the Grammys, i.e. she looks like, what I read online, a softcore porn artist.
Whoa.
Now, so just to set
That's a bit hard.
Well, I did read that, but so just for anybody who doesn't know, they have re-released cover art for Anne of Green Gables, and we all know her to be the cute, demure little redhead. Well, they've re-released it, this cover art, with a photo of a very, as it's been labeled, buxom blonde gal, and she is, yeah.
She's sexy.
She's pretty sexy.
And not malnourished at all.
No.
And I mean, I think that's the main issue. It's not that we just only know her to be redheaded, but Lucy Montgomery specifically wrote about a redhead with freckles,
yes.
very malnourished, although she starts to eat more in the later years of her life.
Yeah.
She realizes, oh, I have to
But
eat.
I don't think at any point she wrote her with her arm above her head, wearing a plaid jacket. And I don't think there were any hay bales in the,
exactly.
in the books either.
In
but
the 1908 version of this classic. So yeah, this is, oddly, this has been a very polarizing topic, and it's all over the internet. People are very upset. Some of our camera guys off camera were talking about, they were having conversations with their significant others about this last night. People are outraged. I mean, exactly that. She did write her a specific way, so the cover art depicts her totally differently, which, I mean, right there is just a discrepancy, but people care about this book. People really care about this figure, which is interesting, I think. And you were very upset about this yesterday.
Well, I just, well, it was, yeah. I mean, I just thought I just think it was completely foolish. And I think perhaps they just chose whatever was in stock photos and free, and then they re-released this. But so I don't think that there was necessarily a lot of intent that went behind choosing that image. But really, you should think twice before, or know the content of the book.
What a weird way to drop the ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this is a classic book. It's over 100 years old. People go visit the Maritimes in Canada specifically to, visit the Anne of Green Gables house and everything. And then, like, whose decision was this?
Would it be, yeah, well.
Well, I thought that it was like, because like the screenshot that I saw, like that can't be the cover. Like it's still a period piece. So like what I saw as her picture, they can't actually be the cover. It might be the girl, I think. But I think that you mentioned you're frustrated, and I don't want to speak for Mitch, but I think we're decidedly less frustrated.
A little bit less.
Maybe some, but no.
Why? Why don't you care?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I don't care, but I know why I do care. She's cute. There's people who've like less. Like Anne of Green Gables isn't something that's really commonly known, I think, in the new age. So if you get someone that's young, you get people talking about Anne of Green Gables, I think it's a good thing for the franchise.
Really?
Yeah, people are talking.
What would happen?
People are
I
gonna
do not
watch
think
it.
that at all. I think that the people that are, it is a huge fan base, I would say, and I think that every single one of those people is not going to appreciate a new look because they know the book, and it's a direct contradiction to what this person is.
Sure.
And then, I mean, really, as a guy who just thinks she's cute, you're not going to like the books any more than you liked them when you were
No, but I'm more
younger,
interested in
right?
talking about it.
Well, it's interesting though, because Gone with the Wind was for the first time staged. So, again,
At MTC, yeah.
at MTC. So taking a classic book like that, I mean, even Scarlett, she wore a wig. She was dark. She, because she's naturally a blonde. So. I'm wondering, would you go see Anne of Green Gables if there was this buxom blonde playing Anne?
Yes.
Well, and
I think I'd be more
I like
interested,
that you
yes.
brought that up, because for me, it goes into this whole idea of what we do with things that are now in the public domain. So in that case, we see a stage play where the directors and the producers are taking a very good care to make sure that they really depict, what the true intent of the book was. And then you have Anne of Green Gables, which is now in public domain, so they can do whatever they want with it. So once that happens, once there aren't any copyrights holding things, is what happens to our art, what happens to our literature when it continues to fall into that category.
She might be more acceptable if the whole cast changed. Like if you took, say if you put Anne of Green Gables on stage, you had this buxom blonde, but all the other characters changed their roles too as well. I mean, I don't know, a modern twist. It's been done on Romeo and
Yeah.
But
Juliet.
so fine,
and
make
stuff
it a
like
modern
that.
twist.
Yeah.
But this isn't meant to. It's still the
No.
same book. It's still the same story. It's still set at the same time. Like you say, the story. She's this malnourished redhead kid with freckles, etc. And then it's just so strange. Just a really strange thing to do. I don't know. I mean, you've got 2 young daughters, and I don't know if this is still a book that's sort of out there, like, you know, we all read it when we were young in school, but I don't know if it's still something that crosses the paths of young girls anymore. I don't know if it's part of the curriculum or part of, reading lists or anything.
Do we know if this was released in the U.S. or I think it was a U.S. company that released it, maybe.
And if that's the case, if it's just the book cover,
Then
all
they
it is
might
to
not
sell.
know.
It's just for sell.
Yeah.
It's to.
And she's got to
the
be in
trilogy
clothes.
is in
Like, she's
there.
got to be in like
Yeah.
old style clothes. Like this girl, whether she's buxom or not, if you put her in like an old, I don't even know what they're
Pinafore.
like. Yeah, and like a babushka and all the other fun stuff from back in the day. Like I think maybe it'll be a bit different, but like the sultry sort of pose that she was going for there, I think that people are reacting to that more so than what are they doing to Anne of Green Gables?
Well, my question is, like, I mean, I read it when I was young, but so now my memory is going already, and I'm only 24. But how old is Anne when these books start?
Well, she's a child,
Yeah.
and then the last one is she's a college student.
Okay.
So the trilogy is in this.
Just seems weird that that's the photo you go with for a young kid.
Well, no, it's so this is I pulled up on the iPhone here while we were talking. First of all, it's this is a self-published edition of the book,
Right.
And there actually is a clan of Montgomery heirs that was set up in 1998 that they control the commercial use of images, likenesses, objects, and events in the Anne books. So now
yeah,
they
but
all have to
that's-
meet, and this is outside of the public domain stuff. Like this was because it went to the public domain in 1993, and this group was set up in 1998. So now they have to meet to talk about this and decide what to do.
Well, and the reason that happened is because Lucy Maud Montgomery was very particular about how her characters were portrayed. Like when she was alive and they were coming up with the sketches for the book covers, and they went through several different incarnations because she was very specific, and if you read the books, very adamant about who her characters are and what they look like. And I think that that's the biggest issue, because anybody who's read it and we're really attached to the book, we're really attached to the character, not because it's like, oh yeah, I think that she maybe looks this way. It's like very
She was
intentional.
so part of the story.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, I think, that it shows the odd things, not the odd things, but just the variety of different things that we really care about, the things that Canadians do not want to have messed with, right? Like, and Anne of Green Gables, who would have thought that it would cause such an uproar? But it has. Like, it's been out there in the media the past few days. People were talking about it. People are really, really incensed that someone has messed with this Canadian institution. It's just interesting.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
the boys just don't care.
No.
Shrug.